What's up, everybody? Patty Stash coming at you. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the crypto markets. And, as someone that has experience in the stock market initially, then I got into crypto markets about 7 years ago. What do I look for, right? I've talked about it, quite a bit, where I say that for years and years, I've always invested in these projects that have these elements of utility, obviously. Utility, a project, a company that does something. So that mindset to me is what everybody pretty much does. People invest in something because they believe that whatever that company is doing will be successful. Isn't that what people do? I just think about the big blue chip companies in the stock market. You think about these companies that have been around forever, like Coca-Cola and GE, whatever. They're companies that have proven themselves for years and years and years. So obviously, if you continue selling products and your revenues are continuing to stay up, then that's a company that probably people want to invest in, and I don't blame them. But the stock market and the crypto market are real different. The crypto market has a very degenerate feeling and vibe to it, which is why it gets this negative stigma amongst a lot of people. And it's like 100%. And I personally, like the amount of actual scammers in this market, it's insane. And it really detracts from the market itself and just the excitement that you would want to have when you're, investing or trading or whatever it is that you're doing. So because there's so many shady characters, it's a slap in the face to so many people that are actually trying to build stuff. And, I talk about building, developers and, people of that sort, where with what I'm doing with Everybody Holds, it's more of an ideology. And the reason that, I just think that this is cool is because other projects that I've invested in, I've done so because of the product or whatever it is that they were building. And I thought that was cool. And if that was developed properly, it would amount to a much higher token price, whatever. And sometimes that does happen, like Telcoin. Telcoin's a perfect example because that's got, the form of utility, and it's like they're doing something really cool. A lot of other projects that I, still hold, Phantasma Chain, Sol, they, again, built their own blockchain. So it's these are elements of utility, of course. But those tokens, they're not doing anything. They're boring. The communities are so boring and slow. And then you've got this whole other element of crypto, which is the complete degenerate side of people buying and selling and jumping in and jumping out. And then there's kind of this middle ground. And that's where I'm kind of trying to find myself. So some of these projects have utility, but it's boring. The utility may not appeal to other people. So it's if they do something amazing and there's only a few people that really give a shit, is it worth investing? I talk about it all the time. As a fucking cancer patient that beat late stage cancer, I could come up with, someone could technically cure cancer. And if they had we'll say it's a publicly traded company or even a cryptocurrency, whatever, you create, a company of some sort and you create a product that cures cancer. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. What would you expect to happen to the price of a company that cures cancer? You would think it's going to go through the roof, right? I would, and it probably would, but there's always that outside factor of the human element. And I always talk about it because the human element can screw everything up. And what I mean is, let's just say, for example, you've got a company and 50% of their supply is available on the market to be bought and sold, and the other 50% is locked away. So that company's been around for a few years. So that 50% is like, that's it. That's the supply that everyone's been dealing with for the longest time. But then all of a sudden, these guys cure cancer. Lots of buying comes in. And then the team or the company or the CEO or whoever, whatever, goes, you know what? Look at this thing going up. We've got all these tokens or all these shares, whatever. I just want to start selling them. And if they do, that additional supply being introduced into the market could completely tank the price. And if it did tank the price, then that investment kind of went to shit. Over time, maybe, eventually people buy up all the extra shares or tokens that were introduced and then it recovers. But it's like, they killed it. Even though they cured cancer, they killed it. So instead, I'm trying to take all these little elements of what I've learned over the last 20 years or so and adding them together, knowing what I know about the market. And like, that's what I've kind of done with Everybody Holds, where forget about the human error element, right? Everybody can promise the world, but it doesn't mean they're going to deliver. So instead, try something different. And the thing about Everybody Holds is the fact that this contract was created in a way that has reduced the supply significantly. There were 100 billion total, and then 72 billion were bought back and burned. So that drops the supply significantly, and less supply, if there's demand, means a higher price. So if you've got an idea and there's a contract with a really tight supply, great. But what if that supply is held 30% here, 20%? Then those people will kill it. But with Everybody Holds, it's not like that. There's no individual wallet that holds a significant portion. So no individual wallet can dump and really destroy the price. Yeah, if one of the biggest wallets dumps, it's going to put a wrench in things and slow it down, but it's not going to destroy it. So my thinking is, after years and years of being in this market, I found a token that finally has that tokenomics. And like by fate, the developer, who didn't have the greatest reputation, decided to bounce, start another token. And so we as community members took it over. And it's been so successful because of this concept that we've implemented. It's working. People are holding. We're actually holding. And it's like, we all know that money's going to flow in the market. There's always going to be winners. There's always going to be losers. Like, anybody could buy any token. But if somebody has the conviction to buy a token here now, that's something that's really never been done, but it seems to be working, why would you not want to continue going down that route? Nobody's getting fucked over. Nobody's being lied to. We're all saying exactly what's happening. This market likely will pump for the next 12 months. Every crypto market cycle does the same thing. The market pumps. Eventually, the Bitcoin halving happens. Then after the halving, the market goes higher, but then it dies. So we know that's going to happen. So why not continue to be fueled by the emotions of the money coming in to drive this higher because of the unique math? And it's like other tokens and other projects could say that they're doing the same, but they're not. They can't. I don't know of any other projects that can. You never know. There always could be something. But as of right now, I don't know. So all the years that I've been in the market, like, I've taken all these little things that work and put them all together. And I think that this project is like the fifth element. I've talked about it. And it's like, now there's other people that are like, well, what are you going to do at the end of the market cycle? I'm going to get out, because that's what everybody should do. But the thing is, myself and a lot of others that have been in the market for years, we understand this. This has been my job for years. Like, I researched this, I studied this. I made the mistake the first market cycle of not getting out like I should have, and I rode everything back down. So it's like, I'm not going to do that again. So everybody knows exactly what's going on. We have a token with good math. We're all trying to grow it as big as we possibly can. And at some point, we're going to be taking profits toward the end of the market cycle. Everybody is. Everybody should. And if you don't, you're wasting your fucking time because you're going to wait another 4 years. So this token to me is special, and it's got all these different components that have been seen before, and we're actually pulling it off. So I really think that it's going to continue moving like it is. I think we're going to break our higher high. We're going to make a higher high here soon, and it's going to make another huge squeeze. And when it does, everybody's going to ask, what the fuck is going on here? You know, because it's like if you see a project that just keeps going up, like it gets your attention. So we're doing something different. And that's why I keep saying we're going to get haters. Like there's going to be haters because it's like that element of utility that everyone talks about, we don't have yet, but we will have something. So we're just building the community and the idea first. This is what everyone in the world does. Think about like even Shiba Inu. How long was it until they finally had an element of utility? They were already billions in market cap. So it's like you got to build first. Then once you start getting things flowing, that's when you could then add the different elements of utility. But it's like we're doing it in reverse. Most people do the utility up front, but it's like they fail because of everything else they're doing is wrong. So we're doing the opposite. Everything we seem to be doing is working. And now once everything continues to work the way we are hoping and seeing, then we start adding those elements of utility. It's wild. It's like we're doing it backward, but it's working. So I see no reason why it won't continue to work as long as the market's going to continue to grow. We'll see.